In this lesson, you'll learn useful business English for sustainability, ESG priorities, and environmental performance. Let's begin. Phrase 1. Reduce our environmental footprint. Reduce our environmental footprint. Meaning, to decrease the negative effect an organization has on the environment. Example: the new packaging will reduce our environmental footprint across the product portfolio. An environmental footprint can include emissions, waste, water, land, and resource use. Reducing it requires measurable operational changes. Use this phrase when discussing the overall environmental impact of the business. Now repeat, reduce our environmental footprint. Phrase 2. Set a sustainability target. Set a sustainability target. Meaning, to establish a specific environmental or social result to achieve. Example: the company set a sustainability target to use renewable electricity at every office. A useful target has a clear measure, deadline, and starting point. It guides investment and accountability. Use this phrase when turning a broad sustainability ambition into a defined commitment. Now repeat, set a sustainability target. Phrase 3. Track carbon emissions. Track carbon emissions. Meaning, to measure and record greenhouse gases connected to business activity. Example: the reporting platform helps us track carbon emissions from travel and purchased energy. Tracking emissions provides the evidence needed to identify major sources and measure reductions. The boundaries and calculation method should be consistent. Use this phrase in climate reporting and operational planning. Now repeat, track carbon emissions. Phrase 4. Improve energy efficiency. Improve energy efficiency. Meaning, to achieve the same or better result while using less energy. Example: upgrading the cooling system improved energy efficiency at the distribution center. Energy efficiency can reduce both emissions and operating costs. Improvements may involve equipment, buildings, data systems, or behavior. Use this phrase when describing practical ways to reduce energy consumption. Now repeat, improve energy efficiency. Phrase 5. Source responsibly. Source responsibly. Meaning, to purchase materials or services while considering environmental and social standards. Example: the procurement policy requires teams to source responsibly from verified suppliers. Responsible sourcing considers origin, labor conditions, environmental practices, and business ethics. It requires evidence rather than assumptions. Use this phrase when purchasing decisions include standards beyond price and delivery. Now repeat, source responsibly. Phrase 6. Reduce waste. Reduce waste. Meaning, to decrease the amount of material or resources that are discarded. Example: the factory redesigned its cutting process to reduce waste during production. Waste reduction can prevent unnecessary material use before recycling is considered. It may improve cost and environmental performance together. Use this phrase when changing design, purchasing, production, or office practices. Now repeat, reduce waste. Phrase 7. Support the circular economy. Support the circular economy. Meaning, to help keep products and materials in use instead of discarding them. Example: the repair program supports the circular economy by extending product life. Circular approaches include reuse, repair, refurbishment, and recycling. They replace the simple pattern of making, using, and throwing away. Use this phrase when products or materials are designed for continued value. Now repeat. Support the circular economy. Phrase 8. Assess climate-related risk. Assess climate-related risk. Meaning: to evaluate how climate change may affect an organization. Example: the insurer assessed climate-related risk across properties in coastal regions. Climate risk can involve physical events, regulation, technology, markets, and reputation. Assessment considers likelihood, timing, and impact. Use this phrase in resilience, investment, and long-term planning discussions. Now repeat. Assess climate-related risk. Phrase 9. Engage local communities. Engage local communities. Meaning: to communicate and work with people affected by business activity in an area. Example: the project team engaged local communities before selecting the final site. Community engagement includes listening, sharing information, and responding to legitimate concerns. It can improve decisions and trust. Use this phrase when a project has social or environmental effects beyond the company. Now repeat. Engage local communities. Phrase 10. Report on progress. Report on progress. Meaning: to provide evidence about results achieved toward a stated goal. Example: the company reports on progress against its sustainability targets every year. Progress reporting compares current performance with commitments and explains gaps honestly. Reliable data is important. Use this phrase when communicating achievements and remaining work to stakeholders. Now repeat. Report on progress. Phrase 11. Meet an ESG commitment. Meet an ESG commitment. Meaning: to fulfill a stated environmental, social, or governance promise. Example: the investment will help the company meet its ESG commitment on water use. An ESG commitment should be supported by action, resources, and evidence. Meeting it protects credibility with employees, customers, and investors. Use this phrase when a public or internal promise reaches its required result. Now repeat. Meet an ESG commitment. Phrase 12. Embed sustainability into strategy. Embed sustainability into strategy. Meaning: to make sustainability a continuing part of core business decisions. Example: the board wants to embed sustainability into strategy rather than manage it separately. Embedding sustainability means considering it in products, investment, operations, and risk decisions. It becomes part of how the business creates value. Use this phrase when sustainability moves beyond individual projects. Now repeat. Embed sustainability into strategy. Excellent work! You have practiced 12 expressions for sustainability and ESG. Choose 3 phrases and use each one in a sentence about a realistic environmental or social priority. Practicing with a specific business context will help you remember the language. Continue with the next part for more business English speaking practice.